No, I totally agree. It's all about the show. And it's a shame that the London could potentially lose this to the next generation. Peter Gray, thank you very much, and we'll keep in touch.
Jonny, thank you ever so much for your time. It's been really good. Thank you ever so much, yeah? Take care, and we'll speak again shortly.
The FD Show. The biggest names speak to us first.
Life's good. Share the Stocks love on Twitter at Stocks Radio or Facebook.com/Stocks Radio. Maybe you too could get some sweet Stocks loving.
What do you mean that's all they got available? That's all that's left? My Priddle!
At the end of the day, it doesn't bother me.
Stocks Radio. Other Orville podcasts just of you going round and round and circle round and circle round.
Welcome back to the F2 show here on Stocks Radio. It's a podcast tonight, not a live show. Unfortunately, due to technical issues with Spreaker, that means that there is no show, but it's also hit the other one too. So, every cloud. So, where do we go now?
So, with this news, with this music...
Yeah.
You know what it's time for, Samantha, don't you?
I do.
It's a sex... No, not sexy party, Stewie. No, what? As Steve would say, it's time for the Impact Dancers! No, we're not going to go for the Impact Dancers. Although, to be honest, I'm not going to say anything about those dancers.
I'm not saying a word.
No. Only that, Wokey Kokey Kokey is on the marks for next year. Needs bed, rings fake, rah rah rah. Bam bam. Yes, it was the NEC show. We stopped doing, take the mick out of the poor old Impact dancers. We love them to bits. They do add a little bit of impact. Although it's a kind of impact that we'll probably get someone to go thumbs down. Please. Yellow flag, please, Mr. Starter. Or Madam Starter. So there we go. So it's all eyes on the NEC. In the lovely bit of Birmingham, the second city, rest of it, where we had the lovely matter of the Auto Sports Show for us another year. Last year I was there doing other things. This year I was there mostly moving house and helping Baby come home. And if you haven't heard, Baby Eric is with us, and who will be reporting on us as soon as he can speak.
Yay!
On the Stocks Radio. If not, it was just gurgle, which probably makes more sense than Sammy does sometimes. So, yes, so we sent our trainee reporter.
Trainee's the right word, I'm afraid.
Yes, you'll hear from the levels on this one here. We've got to find out. We've got mic technique here, and we're going to try and get her to get to with the microphone soon, to back off the mic, as they used to say on Mark and Lard. A little bit. There you go. Apologies for the slightly not as good technical abilities, but hey, she is learning, but the questions and the content are much worth it. We start firstly with a couple of guys who work with C-Tech engines. First up, Paul Moss. You spoke to Paul.
I did speak to Paul. Paul was very good with me, actually. I pitched him for a couple of minutes, just had an interesting chat just about how the previous season's gone, how his next season's gone, and a few little burning questions that I know I wanted answers, and a few guys that got in contact with me on Facebook wanted answers, so hopefully I might have a few answers and a little bit of interest for him.
And here's Paul.
How are you getting on with the show then?
Yeah, it's a bit of fun. We only found out we were doing it Thursday evening, so...
Yeah, that was a bit of a surprise for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, standing in for Jack Marshall, who's gone off sick, so got the car ready, got it here.
Loaded up, quick polished and quick drive up then?
Basically, yeah.
So, not trying to sound nasty, but not seen that much of you in 2015, personally. I know other people have, but I haven't. So, how's it been going? What's happened over the season?
Start of the year was a bit slow with the car and changes to the Z-Tech engine. Picked up middle of the year, and finish the year off getting to red. So.
And what's it like having Big Brother Dan back out with you?
He makes an appearance here and there. But yeah, it's all right. It's a nice race with him.
So a bit of rivalry on track. Does it ever make it home?
Yeah, it always makes it home.
Oh, so brotherly love is non-existent when it comes to racing then?
It's just another car on a track at the end of the day.
That's fair enough. I think that's only fair for most people. So what's going to be the plan for this season then?
Quiet year this year, really, with it being semis on the Shale as well as the World Final. Maybe hitting it a bit harder the year after that.
What are you thinking about the Shale World Final? Is it your cup of tea, or are you more of a tarmac boy?
I'll always be tarmac. I only did about 10 meetings on Shale. It's good fun, but it isn't for me.
No, stick with your tarmac. Stick with what you know and what you do well.
Indeed, yeah.
Fair enough. So you've changed to the Z-Tech. How are you getting on with that?
It's good. It's better than what I've ever had before. We've only ever had home-built engines. So yeah, it's good power and obviously.
Just going through to 2016 and going into that season, obviously there's been a few rule changes coming out. One in particular that seems to be rivaling quite a few of the banger boys, not so much the F2s, of sit in your car and stay there until you're allowed off track. What do you think of it?
I mean, yeah, it's your driver's safety to get out the car and into the infield. But at the end of the day, you're in there, you're safe in there, so...
Safest place to be?
Yeah, really, until the race is stopped, until you move safely.
That's fair enough. I think that's pretty safe to say. And the other question that I've been asked, I asked a few guys to see what they thought about and questions that they were thinking. And funny enough, one of the hot rod drivers had a burning question of what did an F2 driver think about the race receivers?
Sorry, the what?
Basically, the hot rod drivers, they have a microphone, an earpiece. Yeah. And they're spoken to directly by their steward, only for certain things, either blockage on the track, the greens. Yeah. Do you think that would help in an F2 or not?
It could possibly, yes. I know the F1s have to have them as well. Yeah, you're always being talked to then, so yeah. So
it would help with, if you get a dangerous car in a dangerous position, you'd know where it is before you got there, so you think it would be a positive thing? Yeah,
it could be. You would know what was happening at the other end of the track before you got there, so
that's cool. And last question for you, because I'm just going to bombard you with questions. Why not, whilst I've got you here? The increased use of neck safety, is it something you use? Is it something you want to use? Are you looking into? Or
ever since I've had a Formula 2, I've had a hands device. I wouldn't sit in one without one.
That's fairly basic. Black and white there. Either you got it or you ain't, yeah?
Yeah, basically. I wouldn't sit in a car without it. I've had big crashes and woke up absolutely fine the next day, so...
That's pretty good then. They are a good bit of kit, and it is something that I think people need to look into. Thank you, PJ, for your 2 minutes and helping me out today. And have a good rest of the show and enjoy your next season.
Yes, thank you. You too.
Yeah, some interesting answers there from old PJ Moss, who it was interesting to say about receivers, really. That was hilarious, considering he'd like to know when the green goes. Yes, Paul, you're the King of Pringle 2015. You should know about when the green goes.
Hey, I've got it. Do you know what? I'm going to stick up for Paul here a little bit, because I can see where he's coming from with the race receivers. You know, with the hot rods and things. For anybody that's watched the hot rods, and I've personally started the hot rods up at Northampton on Good Friday, you know what? We don't have a problem. We don't have a problem. Oh, God. We don't get a problem with jump starts and things in there, because they are told, and they are told over and over again by their steward.
If you jump start a standing start, sometimes it's not easy to do.
Well, no, but you know what I mean. But you know what I mean. You don't get the creeping on it when you get a clutch start. Hey, let's take St. Dave's F2 clutch start for instance, shall we? I had creepers. Oh, God. And now we're going on the...
Can't start yet.
Any own time. But do you know what it is an idea looking forward in the sport. It's an idea. You know, if you've got a track blockage down at one end, especially in an F2, if you've got an F2 that is side on and in a dangerous position, the other end of the track, sometimes it would be useful to know it's there. Okay, it's part of the skill of racing.
I want to hear the first person who does a Kimi Räikkönen and goes, "Leave me alone, I know what I'm doing."
Well, that is what I'm saying. It is a skill of racing, is part of knowing what's going on the track and keeping your eyes open and judging what is happening on the track. So it kind of takes that away from it a little bit. But then again, you've got the upside of it that it could help. Whether it's a hindrance or a help, I don't know. But, it's one of those things to look at for the future, possibly.
Okay, moving on now to the second bloke, another Z-Tech driver. As we all know and love, it's the man who swore blind. Well, no, actually didn't swore blind, he just swore.
He was good, he didn't swear once, he was very good.
At the end of the last interview we did with him, the quieter Linfield, that's Matt.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you enjoying the show?
Good so far. I've not been here that long. Seen a few interviews and they've been quite informative, particularly Paul Hines. Good one, but it did go on.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I was there watching as well. But he's very, very enthusiastic, shall we say, about what he does.
Yeah, I think his interview was that good. If you knew nothing about oval racing at all, I think he gave a very good insight of everything. How the sport's run, how the racing works, what the shootout is about. Yeah, very good indeed.
So, let's go back to your racing and how you're getting on with your racing. So, how's 2015 been for you, apart from the odd moments that I know about?
Not too bad, really. I'll say that we didn't have high expectations starting the year with a fresh engine for the sport, although we knew it was going to be close enough. Obviously, a few people chucked it out very early. But I think if you stick with it, develop it, learn it, sort the car out to suit, it's easily fast enough. I think 2 finals and 5 heats from 19 meetings, I can't complain really.
Yeah, you're kind of known as the Z-Tech guy at the moment. Everybody seems to come to you for your Z-Tech advice. How are you getting on with it personally? Just you, away from the actual car and the racing side. How are you finding the Z-Tech?
Very good. It's a match for a decent Pinto in my opinion, but it is extremely cheap in comparison. The whole idea was to introduce an engine which was low cost, competitive enough for people to be attracted to the sport. I think when you've got 7 or 8 fresh drivers with Z-Techs up at Cowdenbeath, some due to come out in the West Country as well, you have to say it's working. And that's exactly what was intended, to get new people in.
Yeah, exactly. The sport definitely obviously needs people coming in all the time, as well as people going out. They've got to have people coming in. You don't have those people coming in, you're going to lose it. And the whole point of this point of the NEC and being here is to encourage people to come and have a go and come and watch and be part of it. And with the Z-Tech, like you say, it's a much cheaper alternative, and even gives the likes of me a chance of even one day in the future. You just never know. So moving on to the next season in 2016, what's the plans?
We have a new car which we're currently building at the moment, which is built specifically for Z-Tech. I think halfway through last year we came to the conclusion, although we had a very, very good car, RCE car, not very old either, only fresh 2013, we did come to the conclusion that it really needs a completely different philosophy with regards to the car to get the most out of it. I can't get no more out of the engine. I could get more out of myself by racing more frequently, but unfortunately it was the car that was holding us back as a package.
Fair enough. So new car, fresh season, going to go big. Are we any expectations for the year, or just going to go for what you can do?
We've set ourselves a few targets. Last year the target was to get in a semi and qualify for the World Final, and we did that. This year it's much the same, get in a semi, qualify for the World Final, although shale is clearly not my surface, and generally just enjoy it. I think we enjoyed last year. I think with a lower cost of the engine we were able to do more travelling, more racing, just have a great deal more fun.
Go out and have a bit of fun. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Go out and have a bit of fun.
Absolutely.
Oh, and little man's even come over to give you a new sticker. Another new sticker. Just before we finish, I just want to ask, obviously, rule changes, things coming in, this, that and the other. One that's on the tongue of most drivers at the moment is this new staying in your car business.